You know, every massive journey, every huge success story, it all starts with one thing, that first step. And let's be honest, that first step is usually the hardest one, right? It's filled with doubt, with the fear of, what if this doesn't work? So today, we're going to break down that exact moment. We're going to look at the very first vlog from a new creator to really get into the universal struggle and the triumph of just starting. Okay, let's get into it.
Wow. This is the line that kicks the whole thing off. It's from a creator named Ali, right at the start of his new channel. He's talking about his past attempts, pouring his heart into making videos and getting nothing back, just silence. That feeling of absolute zero, I mean, anyone who's ever tried to make something from scratch knows exactly what that feels like. But the real magic here is the challenge he sets for himself, to turn that zero into a hero. He's not just complaining, he's basically stating his mission for this entire journey.
So, where does a mission like that even begin? Well, as we see in our first chapter here, an old dream, or Ek Purana Sapna, it starts with something that's been there for a long, long time, an ambition that just refuses to fade away. All right, so let's meet the person at the center of this story. This is Ali. He's from Lahore, Pakistan, and just like tons of people all over the world, he's had this creative spark in him for ages. This isn't some brand new idea for him, it's a dream he's carried for years. And this slide, man, it just perfectly captures that internal tug-of-war. On one side, you've got the dream, right? The thing he's wanted since he was a kid, to be a YouTuber. But then you look at the other side, and there's the harsh reality, the channels that just fizzled out. It's that classic battle between what you hope for and what you've actually experienced.
So why did those old channels fail? Well, he's super honest about it. He points to two big reasons. First, inconsistency, which is like the #1 enemy of any creative project. And second, that soul-crushing feeling we just talked about, getting absolutely zero views. It is so hard to keep your motivation up when you feel like you're just talking to an empty room.
So, knowing all that, it makes total sense that starting over would be incredibly tough. And that brings us to this next really critical part of his journey, which this slide calls facing hesitation, or hichkichahat kasam. This line is just so raw, so real. He's literally filming his first vlog for this new attempt, and he says this right to the camera. He's in the middle of creating, but he has no clue if he'll even find the courage to hit upload. It just perfectly shows how vulnerable you have to be to put yourself out there, especially when you've been knocked down before. But it's not just about what's going on in his head. Ali is also totally aware of the real-world challenges. Our next section gets into what he calls the journey's difficulties, or safar-ki mushkile, the actual tangible roadblocks he sees ahead of him. Okay, think about it for a second. If you were going to start a vlog today, what would you say you absolutely need? Most of us would probably point to some gear and, well, maybe some other people. And Ali thinks the same way. He feels like he's missing two key things. And here they are. He feels like he doesn't have a good camera, the thing we all think is the ticket to entry. And he also feels like he doesn't have a crew, good friends to make videos with, which can make the whole thing feel pretty lonely. For a lot of people, these 2 points right here would be the end of the story. It would be like, okay, I'll start when I get those things.
But this is the turning point. This is the moment of pure guts. After he lists all the reasons not to start, his past failures, his self-doubt, not having the right gear, feeling alone, he makes a choice. He basically says, okay, despite all of that, I'm starting. The key takeaway here is huge. He's not waiting for perfect. He's just starting. So what gives someone the strength to do that? What's the mindset that lets you push past all that fear? Well, as we're about to see, he actually spells out his own personal formula for success, or Gamyabika formula. And this right here is his core belief. He knows it's going to be hard. He's not delusional about that. But he has this deep down conviction that the hard work, the labor, will pay off in the end, that the fruit of labor is always received. It's this trust in the process, not the immediate results, that's driving him. So he breaks this whole philosophy down into what he calls his 2 pillars. It's so simple but really powerful. On one hand, you have faith, a belief that he's not doing this completely alone. And on the other hand, you have hard work, a commitment to being, as he says, a mehnat karne wala banda, a person who just puts in the work no matter what. It's that combo that he believes can get you through anything. And that brings us right back to where we started, to our final section, zeroToHero, or zeroToHero. This is where he takes that whole philosophy and puts it into action, speaking right to the audience he hopes to build. I mean, just check out the humility here. Instead of pretending this first video is perfect, he does something really smart. He's radically honest. He manages everyone's expectations right away, basically saying, hey, I know this isn't my best, but it's my first. It's so relatable, and it immediately lowers everyone's guard. And then, here's the clincher. He follows up that honesty with a promise. He's asking you, the viewer, to bet on his potential, not just on this one video. He's making a deal. Stick with me, and I promise this is gonna get better. It's his way of inviting everyone to join him on that journey from zero. So as we wrap this up, Ali's story leaves us with a really powerful question for ourselves. He looked his past failures, his current doubts, and his lack of resources right in the eye, and he started anyway. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What absolute zero in your own life? That project you've been putting off, that skill you want to learn, that dream on the back burner? What zero are you ready to start turning into a hero?